You're now listening to the Truth Be Told podcast from Trailmatic.com. Trailmatic.com.
What it do, man, is your boy UU, and this is the Truth Be Told podcast. And I'm here with your boy
Riffa. Riffa's in the building.
Riffa's in the building. This is like gonna be, this is like one of our first few podcasts that we've done, that we're doing.
Yeah.
We're really excited about this. We got some
stuff happen. Yeah.
We got some cool shit lined up.
Shake things up.
Yeah, we got some cool shit lined up, B. We got some
Word
cool
up.
shit. Word, son. You like East Coast music?
Yeah. I'll be feeling the East Coast. I like their beats. Got some good beats.
Just so everybody knows, we're based out of Texas. You know what I'm saying? So, we have a different outlook on East Coast music than most people would. You know what I'm saying?
We're used to the South,
Yeah, I mean, when did you first get into East Coast music, man?
East Coast music. I got into it back in the day, way back with L Cool J and all that, like the old music. I used to get into that because my brother's a little older than me, so he'd have some music. And
you was really jamming LL, bro?
Back in the day, some old LL, and Mama just said "Knock You Out." Who wasn't listening to that?
I wasn't listening to it. No.
I
I heard it. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like I was like, oh my god, LL Cool J. I mean, I've heard it. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know it before my time
and stuff like that. But I mean, when I really got into that was because my brother was putting me on it. But other than that, like when I got into it, was probably around the East Coast, West Coast drama is when I really started hearing it. It kind of helped them in the sense for me because I was getting rushed into it, like they were making me hear it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting flooded the radio, it was Biggie, it was Tupac, so then I started getting into that, and like back then, that's when I really got into the East Coast. It didn't matter about who was better, who was not, to me, it was your music.
You know when I got into the East Coast, bro? Motherfucking DMX.
I had all his albums, so yeah, he got me hyped too.
DMX was lit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I remember the whole the Ruff Ryders era.
Yeah, the Ruff Ryder movement was really big.
Yo, it was fire.
That's pretty much when, because with the locks and all that, it's when I really got into the East Coast hard.
The locks there was a campaign going on because the locks, they used to be signed to Bad Boy, and there was this whole campaign where they were trying to free the locks from Bad Boy and get them signed over to Ruff Ryders, and it was
tired of wearing them shiny suits and stuff.
They got tired of that shit. They was like, "Nah, we hardcore. We're from Yonkers.
Yeah, that ain't us."
And they didn't want to do that. And then when they finally got released, they were on Ruff Ryders, and the rest is history, man. A lot of people came out of that shit. You had Eve.
Eve came out. Swiss
Beats came out of that.
He expanded a lot off of that. So.
Oh yeah.
And, Drag On.
He didn't
didn't blow up as big as he could have, but
but he was dope though.
Oh yeah, his albums were hot. You know what I'm saying? His tracks, singles were good.
Yeah, I remember
stay in it.
I specifically remember the song "Twisted Heat" from I think Volume 2, Ride It Out Volume 2 with Twista and Drag On, and I remember that being a fire ass song.
Oh yeah, I had all those albums too. The compilations, basically.
Oh yeah.
Rough Riders Volume 1 and all that stuff. And oh man,
they were at the height of the whole East. But you know what? There was a lot more going on during that time too. You had Ja Rule.
Yeah.
You had Ja Rule and the Murderers. Murder Inc.
Murder.
Yeah. Murder. Holla. Everybody that's ready to get. You had all that going. You had Jay-Z. He was coming up with the early Rockefeller days.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Not super early, but I remember they were gonna create the supergroup. It was gonna be DMX, Ja Rule, and Jay-Z, and they were gonna be called like Murder Inc. or something like that. That was gonna be their
name.
Their name, yeah. And I remember them having a song on. I think it was Ja Rule's first album. And they had a song on there with all three of them. And it was fire. I remember being like fire. I think Jay-Z had like a line. He was like, I have you in the car slumped, Kennedy style, with your memory out. And I remember that just being like, I remember being like 10 years old, like, oh my God, he's killing it. Yeah, like, this shit is dope. But,
imagine if they would have came out with that at that moment, around that time.
I wonder where that shit would be at if they would have done that.
That could have been something right there.
Ja Rule probably wouldn't have went like all corny.
Yeah, he would have had a bit better career. He might have still been relevant to this day. You know, like
he might have been. I don't know though.
Maybe not.
Is DMX relevant to this day?
No. Not
in the way that you need him to be.
Yeah, not the way that he probably wants to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's relevant for other things. You know.
Yeah, man. He kind of I mean, let's just be real. Like DMX's like first 3 or 4 albums were like classics.
Classic, definitely.
He was a problem too because he was hitting like 4 times platinum, 5 times platinum.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Multiple singles. I mean, like almost had like a quarter of the album, if not more than that, was like a single.
Yeah, but the thing I liked about DMX though was he was kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody loved about him. That he really didn't give a fuck. He just had a squad of people with him at all times, and you know something that it's basically like an army, you know. And you would in. It's just everybody had the dogs. I mean, it's what people want to actually see. Like your crew, you're deep. You don't care. You're ready to just fuck shit up, and that's how he was, you know. And then his style, so aggressive. Yeah. That aggressive style was just, it was perfect to listen to if you're about to play a game of basketball, go play football, you know, you're in sports.
Or if you were about to murder somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Go hit a lick. You know,
you about to go rob somebody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, you're about to get into something bad. Yeah, you're definitely jamming some DMX.
Yeah, like,
you're jamming that.
You're walking down the street and you see an old lady clutch her purse. But if you had like the disc Walkman, and you had DMX playing, like you were just gonna rob her. You didn't even have to have a gun. Yeah. You were just gonna rob her. You were just gonna have a bottle and you just gonna break it on the sidewalk and like give me your fucking money, old lady. Like
grab it first. Yeah, bark at her and shit.
Yeah. It was a different
where my dog's at.
It was a different time back then. It was a lot more more gangster back then.
Yeah, it was wild.
You know what I'm saying? I remember DMX, you know, I'll never forget this line. When I knew he was fucking crazy, right? It was on Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Okay, just the cover.
The cover was crazy.
Was already crazy, right? Blood everywhere.
Yeah.
If none of you people,
I thought, wow.
Yeah. If it's any of you little fuckers listening to this that were born in like the 90s and later, and you never heard this album, right? Just Google DMX Flesh of My Flesh and look at this cover, okay? Yeah. And I was like, how old are we, dog? 10, 11, 12?
Yeah, something like that.
Right? And I was just like, oh my God, I need this album.
Well, yeah. Got
you know
the
what I'm saying?
Tape. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was.
And I remember listening to, I think it was like the second track, because he came in with like a little prayer or something, if I'm mistaken. Like, just because I love my niggas. Let a nigga holler. Where my niggas? All I'm here is right here. Like he had a little prayer, right?
Yeah,
and the next song comes in. I think this is number 2 on the album. But I remember the first 4 bars clear as day. And I remember my mom hearing that shit like, turn that shit off. But he was like, he said, I got blood on my hands because there's no remorse. I got blood on my dick because I fucked the corpse. I'm a nasty nigga. When you pass me, nigga, look me in my eye. Tell me to my fucking face you ready to die.
Yeah.
And I'm just like mind blown.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, wow.
My mom was like, get this shit out of this house. He's got blood all over him. He's the devil. You know what I'm saying? And that just made me want to listen to it even more.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
they don't want you to hear it. You're like, oh, I must be onto something.
Yeah. I turned out okay, Mom. You know what I'm saying? Oh. I'm not like, you know, a psycho murderer.
Yeah.
I listened to DMX. It was okay.
I survived it, you know?
I survived it.
Survived it. It may have not made me a better person, but it didn't make me a worse person. You know?
Yeah, man. And, you know, he was really getting it in, too, because he had the movies and...
Oh yeah, he expanded. You know, he had clothing, everything. You know, they really
he sure did.
Doing it.
Yeah, he did. It. But he fucked it all up. The drugs
killed him.
The drugs fucked him all up.
You know, definitely.
Yo, but when you get online and like he was like talking about the Illuminati killed his career, and I'm like, are you sure it wasn't the heroin?
Yeah.
I think the heroin had something to do with it.
Yeah, I think it had a big part.
Yeah.
Just on my. That's what I believe. You know, I don't know. I believe that.
I don't know. I don't know anybody that's done heroin and was able to like just skate past. You know, except for Robert Downey Jr. But other than that, I don't know anybody that's been able to do like just horrible drugs and just come out of it just okay
and still make it.
Yeah, like and then it wasn't the Illuminati.
Like
it was the drugs. And listen, I'm a huge DMX fan. He left a huge impact on my life, but the drugs definitely took an L.
Oh yeah, he gave me another lesson. You know, like not only did he help me, like music, getting through things because his music was you could really get into it. It can help you through times. You know what I'm saying? Because he spoke about some real shit, but when it came to that, then he showed me about
I can't get up.
He showed me how the drugs can bring you down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That quick, and so I mean, if you do look him up, you can take a lesson off of his career and see that. How that can affect you in the long run, getting into those horrible ones. But yeah,
I would still go see him live.
I would too.
You know, what I'm saying? Even if he was drugged out on heroin,
I'm still a fan.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he came and was like, "Hey, yo, I'm performing like 3 of my albums, the first 3 albums. I'm gonna be on heroin." I'd go. How much are the tickets?
Exactly.
$100? Sure, no problem.
It.
Take my money, X.
Take my money and go buy heroin. Nah, that's horrible.
Yeah, I know it's fucked up. But let's be real, guys. He took. That's a prime example of why you shouldn't do drugs. And if you do, you shouldn't do them that long.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Have your experience and get out. Yeah.
Man, what's some other East Coast cats that you like, man? You know what I'm saying?
Off top, Jada Kiss was a problem also to me. He was.
You know what though? You know why a lot of people, if you notice, there's a lot of people in the South that like Jada Kiss.
Yeah.
And it's because Jada Kiss was doing a lot of music with artists from the South.
Yeah, he was.
He was pushing himself into that, I remember him being on a Lil Jon album.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I remember him being on it was from the Ride or Die 3, and he had the song with Bubba Sparks.
Bubba Sparks, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they really was pushing him
to the South, yeah.
Into the South. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people from the South say Jada Kiss is dope.
Yeah, and he just had he had a dope style, definitely. I even like just get in there.
Nobody can do this.
Kill it.
Nobody could do this laugh like him, dog.
Nah.
People be trying.
Yeah. I don't even want to try. I did that, and I wasn't even really trying. I just did that just so you know what I'm talking about.
You did okay. You did better than I would do. But
I kind of dabble with people in impersonation, so I'm all right.
It was decent.
That was all right.
I give it a 7 or 8. You know what I'm saying?
And that was not trying.
Yeah. I would definitely hit like a 3 on the scale because I'm just horrible at doing it. And I've seen other people, they've tried to do it, and it just doesn't. It's just like, nah, it's not Jada, dog. It's not
Jada enough.
Yeah, it's not Jada enough. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, he had his run,
Oh, he definitely was running.
Styles had his run too.
Yeah, Styles did too. Sheik is the only one that really didn't have it going as big, but he did have it going too.
He had a little bit going.
But it wasn't as big as the other two because the other two were pumped out a lot better. You know what I'm saying? People knew who they were from the get go.
Yeah.
And their styles, I don't know, their styles. Sheik always had that. He had a different style.
Yeah, but
he'd kill shit still.
Yeah.
Sheik was a problem also.
Yeah, and they Styles, he was on a lot of Southern shit too.
Yeah,
he was on a lot of the. I remember he was on Rick Ross's joint. You know what I'm saying that was a huge joint. It just seems like whenever Jada and Styles kind of fade, something just happens and they just kind of pop back in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like nothing never ever happened.
There's been a few times where I'm thinking maybe they're gone. That's it. I won't hear anything. They're just that underground now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then all of a sudden, bam, you hear them on something. You're like, oh.
Yeah. They just pop up out of nowhere on like a hit somewhere. And you're just like, oh, okay. I guess he's not.
He's not done. And people still want him, like on their albums. And I'd take him if I had an album like that, like out there and I could get him.
What you think about Wu-Tang, bro? Was you in the Wu-Tang?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another one I was into. I was into him, but I was into him as a whole. I wasn't. The only one I was into solo was more Method Man. Method Man. And, I listened to a few Raekwons and Ghostface Killer, you know what I'm saying? But
Ghostface is G-Dog.
Definitely. Ghostface was a beast.
Listen, y'all, if y'all are out here listening to this podcast and y'all at work right now, get on your Apple Music or your Spotify and turn on some Ghostface Killer while you're at work. And I promise you, just listen to like some of his, like, let me think like a good album that he did. Just Pretty Tony. You know what I'm saying?
Dope,
Is that an album? I don't know.
I know something to do with Tony, but I think
it's also Fish Scale. That was
good. That's
one I was
jamming. Definitely.
Yeah, just listen to some old Ghostface while you're at work, and yeah, it'll like take you to places, man.
Definitely.
You'll like you'll be pissed off at your boss. You know what I'm saying? Like you're at work, especially working in the office. Boss from the team, you got earplugs on, you listen to Ghostface. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might fight.
That's right. You get you right. You get you in the mood.
Yeah,
to make it happen.
I mean, for Wu-Tang, man. I mean, there was Raekwon, there was Ghostface, there was Meth,
the RZA,
Spectre Deck.
No, they had. There's a few other ones. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, man. That's usually where the memory lapses at.
Yeah, around those where it lapses. You God. There was You God, definitely.
Yeah, there was no. Yeah, but there was a Redman's like an honorary like member.
Yeah, he basically is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is because Red and Meth are so close that it's like he's always on their shit already. He's featured on some of their solo albums. You know what I'm saying?
I wonder what like I seen did you see RZA's movie? Man with the Iron Fist?
I never did watch it. I know
it's an interesting movie, man.
It was.
Yeah, I mean they're all right. They got the second one, which came straight to
DVD.
Yeah, to Netflix or whatever it was,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I watched them. They're okay.
It's that Shallow Monk style. Yeah, you know how they are.
It's weird because he tries to mix everything in together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like with hip hop too. So
yeah, exactly.
It's kind of strange because you normally watch movies like this. There's the music, isn't really like hip hop out. I'm not saying it's all hip hop, but
see, he's just like doing a reverse role because when it came to Wu-Tang when they were just doing music, RZA was out there producing and all that stuff. They were always incorporating movie scenes like old Shaolin and karate, all that type of stuff, and he put that in. Now that he's got his movies and stuff coming out, he's incorporating the hip hop into it. So it's like a reverse role now that he's I don't know if you think of it like that.
Yeah, no, I feel what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, they're also kind of low budget.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
choreography isn't really there, and
I honestly think that he's kind of doing that on purpose. Honestly, I think that he would do that because he's trying to keep it old school, kind of old.
Oh yeah.
Old, Asian feel. Like them old.
You can't get. They don't give you too much money, man. So,
yeah.
But
you got to work with what you got.
Yeah, you got to work with what you got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean RZA, he's I mean he's done the scores for a lot of other movies too. So he never really like just died away. Then I know he did like a couple Quentin Tarantino movies.
Oh yeah, he did that. He did some of those. Yeah,
I think he did Kill Bill.
I believe he was affiliated with it. Definitely.
Kill Bill was fire.
Love it.
Yeah,
own it. And I hear they're doing another one soon. So
now they said they're not going to do that. Yeah, they said they're not going to do it.
It would have been nice.
They were trying to because they were like waiting for the daughter to grow up.
Yeah,
Vivica's daughter.
Yeah. So she can come out.
But they were actually waiting for her to grow up in real life,
so she could use the same person.
Yeah, they can use the same person.
Yeah.
Which to me is like, it's not really that serious.
Nah, you don't have to use the same person.
We don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you could have a older person come in, looks a little like her.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
They do it all the time.
They do it all the time. So, yeah, like I'm watching the trailers for Independence Day, and they using the little black boy that was Vivica's son.
Yeah.
They're not using him.
Nah, they're not using
They're using some other kid.
Whole nother
kind of looks a little bit like Will Smith.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Bring that look to it, but yeah.
Plus child stars usually are on heroin and crack like. Yeah. They usually do. I don't know what happens to child stars and why this happens.
It's bad. I don't know if it's given to them like it's candy or something. I don't know. Like, good job after this movie. And here's your heroin. Yeah. I don't know. It's horrible because it happens too often.
What were some? Now listen. Let me tell you something. As a Southern person, okay, in the Southern hip hop too.
Yeah.
We would catch a lot of flack from the East Coast, shitting on the South.
Yeah.
Telling us that we were trash with doo-doo, ain't got no bars, or whatever the hell it was. Okay? But they would literally be saying this and have some of the wackest motherfuckers ever behind them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they had memes, "This is why I'm hot." Okay? And they be talking some mad shit about this. It's like, like, you didn't buy Flip Star's album.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that what's his name from Flip Mode? What was his name?
You talking about the other dude? Like his companion?
Yeah. his
sidekick.
His sidekick.
Yeah,
I can't think of his name. This is Flip Star.
Spliff Star.
Spliff Star.
Spliff Star. Just popped
That's what it is.
Spliff Star.
Yeah, nobody bought his album.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he came out with an album, but
I think he ended up doing it.
He probably did, right? Because everybody came out with an album back then.
I think he did, and
yeah.
Didn't know about it.
Yeah, don't act like you really enjoyed all the Flip Mode Squad.
No.
Or you bought all the Terror Squad's albums.
Nah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't buy all those guys' albums.
Nah, you stuck to the main ones, and if you felt somebody that was a part of it, you might go get their album. You ain't getting everything.
No, there was some trash that came out of the East Coast.
It's hard. It's hard to get a whole squad, and everyone be fired. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like it's hard for them to do that. Like these must be some of their friends that just want to be a part of it, and they're like, yeah, all right.
That's what it was.
It's like, all right, you're all right, so we'll let you can be a part of it.
Yeah, like Ja Rule, You Bought Cadillac Ties album.
Yeah, exactly.
Black Child's album.
Not happening.
You know what I'm saying? It just didn't happen, fool. Like
a lot of those other rappers were wearing their albums weren't selling.
Nobody cared about those people as much. You know what I'm saying? No. So don't try to act like the East Coast is just all like this all great music.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then now you listen to like a lot of East Coast, it doesn't sound anything like East Coast music.
Not at all.
You know what I mean,
to me, when it came to East Coast music, from our time, it was wordplay, vocabulary, storytelling. Mm-hmm. Like they had all that all in their albums, all over their albums.
Had it.
They had the wordplay and like the vocabulary was ridiculous. Like I learned words listening to East Coast music, back in the day.
Especially Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang especially. They pumped that.
My philosophies, animosities,
Socrates, and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, okay, Triumph. No. But yeah, that type is what I had back then. That's what I get from the East Coast. Now, I don't get that from the East Coast.
No, because the people that are running the East Coast all sound like Southern rappers now.
Yeah.
Right? You got A$AP Rocky, who sounds like he's got a lot of Texas.
Like he's from Houston.
There. Yeah, you got French Montana, you know what I'm saying? And then you got, and here's what's crazy thing. One of the few people that actually sound like an East Coast rapper still is Joey Badass. And they don't even like giving him his props. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, this is what you were talking about. You wanted like a real sound East Coast guy. He sounds like he was literally put into a time capsule from the 90s and brought out today. He sounds like he's from the East Coast.
Then. Yeah. And he's East Coast. That's when you hear that, you're like, that's East Coast. Yeah. Some of these rappers, you hear them and you don't know where they're from, you're going to assume they're from the South. You assume like, that must be a new South rapper.
Everything's so homogenized now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know who has kept this sound? West Coast is big, especially the Bay Area right now. Bay Area is popping right now.
They have their own style.
And it's theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even really copy that.
I think I've heard a few try, and that's how it is. Like, I don't even remember who they are because
it doesn't really sound right.
Doesn't sound right, and it's like, nah.
What do you think about all these people that's using Texas? Like like especially a lot of East Coast, they've been stealing a lot of Texas. Let me tell you what I hate the most, and I blame Drake for this. Okay, all these people that came out with albums or mixtapes or songs, that I guess show love to Houston, right? So they're like screw it down, like talking about some lean in there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then that's it. Then they dip the hell off. They never do a song with somebody from Houston or anybody from Texas, period. And that's it. Yeah, it's almost like they just used us
to like a crutch to
get us, because like Drake started that.
Yeah,
when he did the So Far Gone, he had the song with the Houston whatever, and he kind of painted Houston in this particular light, and everybody enjoyed it. And now everybody does this one Houston song on their album.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's done it. Kendrick and
yeah,
Wale. Everybody's done this one Houston song album.
Yeah, dedicated to Houston type thing, like for their Houston fans or whatever. Like I think it's like a stepping stone.
Yeah,
these days
that's what it's like. It's like you're not a real artist till you do this Houston song,
and that'll take you to the next level. Yeah. Like once you do that, then
because apparently we're just so stupid that it's like, oh my god, he made a song for Houston. We're gonna like buy his albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, not me, motherfucker.
Not me.
You know what I'm saying? I see right through that shit. If you're gonna really hold Houston down, you really love it, like you say in this fucking song. Put somebody from Houston on that bitch.
On that track.
You know what I'm saying? At least
on that track, you would think you'd have a Houston rapper spitting on there because you're talking about Houston.
Yeah.
You know, and or at least a Texas rapper. Or
some sort of Texas rapper. Like, there's a lot of young up-and-comers that are hot, that are
all around. Yeah, and we're influenced by Houston itself, like their style. That's where it's really based out of, because the rap, a lot of people put it like that. Like, that's the heart of the Texas rap. But, it just people don't, people are using it, and people don't realize that it's just being used, because they're not actually celebrating it as a whole, because they ain't putting nobody on. Nobody's getting put on, because that could actually benefit a Houston rapper, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially someone of Drake's caliber. Go out there.
There's so many people he could have put on from Houston.
Yeah.
He swears like Houston is like his favorite city in the whole world, but he hasn't done anything with Houston rappers since he came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the beginning, probably, it's just like, oh my God. But since he's been up at this level that he's at,
he hasn't came back to that.
He ain't putting on nobody from Houston.
Other than talk about it, but don't show the love. Like,
he'll come to the concerts. He'll, maybe bring a Houston artist out of the concert. You might see Bun B at the concert or whatever, but
where's the feature? Where's the feature? Putting him on, really, really promoting, really help him out.
Put Paul Wall on a song if you're really about this shit.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Back him up and get on his album. He gets on your type stuff.
Yeah. Put on Slim Thug. You know what I'm saying?
And nothing. I mean, so many artists that, you can put on from Texas, period. But
there's a lot of new guys coming up too. There's like the Sauce Twins. There's what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name. But there's a lot of cats that's really on the come up right now in Texas. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks because Texas went through this little where everybody kind of stole the slang, and they went through all this shit.
Yeah.
We literally got a lot of shit stolen from us, and they don't give us no credit or whatever. And then you have these new artists that come in, and they can't get any love because they're trying to push the sound to a different different direction. So you have the old Houston that doesn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Or the old Texas that doesn't like that. And then you have the game not showing any love to Texas because of how they feel about the old Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
So these new artists that are coming up, they're kind of like stuck in this little limbo here, trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? But listen, y'all. I think that if y'all really want to get on, you got to go to the Bay Area.
Pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? Or to the East Coast, or, you know, because that's the only way you're going to really get put on, man, because they're not showing love. They don't show us love in Texas like they would like in L.A. or like in New York or Miami.
Definitely.
I mean, it is, but on the rap side, they don't give us that love for some odd reason.
I don't know.
They still are sound all day.
Yeah, they don't. They hate. They say they hate us, but then they love what we do. Basically.
Everything that we do, right? They sip the lean. Everybody sips lean now. Yeah. Like I was listening to Future's
no teeth. You know.
Yeah, everybody's got grills. I was listening to what I forget which Future, but on the song he said something about Yellow Tuss.
Yeah.
Okay, on the song he said something about Yellow Tuss. Now these fucking kids and all these kids is talking about they sibling. They don't know about Yellow Tuss.
Reese's Mafia trademarked that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that itch.
Yeah, the itch. They don't know about that. So
I know about it.
Yeah, like it just sucks because he's from Atlanta. He's kind of like pushing Yellow Tuss back out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but these people don't know this shit.
Yeah, they really don't know about it. Yeah, they probably heard of the different colors there are, and they just say it.
Yeah.
If
y'all was really like doing this shit like Texans do, trust me, you would know about this Yellow Tuss. You know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody says Yellow Tuss, I know that they know what the hell they're talking about.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you be like, I sip lean every day, but you don't know what Yellow Tuss is, you don't sip lean every day.
Yeah.
You don't sip lean, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
That syrup is something else. But
yeah, man.
But it's just definitely started. Houston really pumped it out, and what ruined it is when they put it into albums and music. When they did that, that's when it really got out there too much for everybody. That now everybody and their mama was talking about it and knew about it. You know, I mean,
ruined it. I think it was fucking Lil Wayne.
Yeah, well, yeah, he took it to the next level. Just putting it out there was bad enough,
yeah.
And then that was kind of just sharing it. But then Lil Wayne really took it to that whole. It's just.
He really overpopularized a lot of shit. He overpopularized the Bloods.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they made that, like, I remember everybody wanted to be Blood after that.
And there's so much speculation on him.
On whether or not he is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Who knows?
Crazy.
But yeah, I mean, just, period. I mean, just him himself kind of being the star he was and so many people listening to him and just on him, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just... anything he said, they do. You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about sipping syrup, people were sipping it. You know, I'm skateboarding, and all of a sudden there was a new generation of skateboarders. You know, like
that's right.
I mean, everything. Like the dreads. You know, everyone started getting dreads.
That's true.
Everything, face tattoos. I mean, people started doing shit to the next level because of him.
Because of him. Yeah.
Because of him. I mean, he was a force to be reckoned with, obviously, but it was bad that it got to that level because look what's happened.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking crazy. We'll have to talk about Lil Wayne on another.
Probably might. Yeah, it might be a whole 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, you know, we're about to get into the interview now with the boy Tope. Y'all haven't heard of him. He's from Portland. Mm-hmm. Young upstart. You know, what you think about this dude, Tope? Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I was listening to it a little bit, and yeah, I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
Good sound, definitely, and I can't wait for this interview so we can get at some of these topics.
Yeah, man, we're about to let y'all know about Tope, and hopefully he can tell us a little bit more about this Portland hip hop that nobody really seems to know about. You know what I'm saying? And it just
seems like it's underneath the underground.
It's underneath the underground. It really is, and hopefully Tope is going to expose some of what actually is going down in this scene. So, we'll get back to you guys right after y'all hear this sponsor.
Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. A new social network arises every day. If you need social media branding, the team at First Class Social can handle it. From influencer marketing to new media advertising, we got it covered. Head over to firstclasssocial.com today for more info. That's firstclasssocial.com.
All right, man. So we're back, and we got the first interview, man.
There we go.
We got the homeboy Tope. He's coming straight out of Portland, you know.
Yeah.
And how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm excited to be the first one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, why don't you tell the people, you know, a little bit about yourself, man? You
know. Producer, rapper from Portland, Oregon. Under the name Tope, as a solo artist, started in Portland with a group called Living Proof and another group called T&E. And in the last year, I recently moved down to Oakland, California. But I guess most recently known for my album Broke Boy Syndrome with Blue and a couple other people that kind of broke through last year on Double XL and Two Dope Boys and Trailmatic and some other really dope sites that we're out there supporting.
That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up, man. I mean, before we get into all that, how you feel about the Trailblazers right now?
Man, it's really like a heated debate going on right now because I've been in Oakland for a year, and all our local games are Warrior games. So we've been watching the Warriors all season long or whatever. I've only actually seen like 3 or 4 Blazer games until the playoffs. And I've been low-key like trolling all my friends back at home by rooting for the Warriors.
Yeah.
But like now I'm invested in the team. Like they won the 73, you know what I'm saying? They got the 73-9. Now I'm like, if they don't win the series, all my trolling is gonna go down the drain. But I didn't think they were gonna face Portland in the playoffs, so it's been tough, but I can't lie, I've been kinda I've still been trolling people, kind of rooting for the Warriors a little bit.
Man, I hate the
But
Warriors.
but Portland, man, they got a young team that's really nice, man. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum. And to be honest, what's really cool about those dudes is like they've been really active in the Portland hip hop scene in the last year. Like they pop up to shows and come out, and it's brought like a lot of excitement to the scene with just their involvement in it. So that's something really cool to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know anybody on the Trailblazers?
I mean, I've recorded at Martell Webster's studio, who's like a former Trailblazer. I've done PR for Damien and his cousin Brookfield, and did PR for Martell's record label as well. So kind of like through people, not super personal, not we go hang out or anything.
So talk a little bit about that, about the PR, man, because you've been I get a lot of stuff from the Portland area. Like I'm a little more hip to the Portland area because of you per se. I mean, how did that come about, man? Like the PR side.
Well, basically, I think it really started from me just really pushing my music a lot to blogs and kind of, I worked with a publicist a few years ago that was actually Dom Kennedy's former publicist in LA. So I really just kind of picked up on a lot of the things that they were doing and tried to put it towards my own music. And people would always just be like, can you help me out with blogs, or can you send this to some blogs, or how do you, people will always be asking me like how I did it. Da, 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 da. So when I moved to Oakland, I didn't have a job. I was like trying to, like avoid getting a real job, yada, yada, yada. So I just decided to try and do that, to try and, do this as an experiment, like a kind of a small company, a PR company or whatever. So I started just advertising it, and I'm still really like experimenting with it, figuring out what works and doesn't work with it. But
it's rough.
I think it is because it's I don't want to overload people with music, and there's just people are sensitive, and even I'm trying to really like find that the balance of being able to send other people's music without messing up my own plug for music, because it's like I have a lot of good things going blog wise and stuff, so I don't want to end up like annoying people to the point where they don't want to post my own music. So I'm still trying to figure it out, but I think I have been like turning a lot of people on to musicians from the Northwest and other areas. Like it's been cool to see people their movements grow here and there from my help.
I got really what I wanted to also know about, man, is just the Portland hip hop scene as a whole. You don't really hear too much about Portland. You don't really hear too much about the artists that come out of there, and just the scene as a whole, or what style the music sounds like. So I mean, can you just talk a little bit about that, man? Just let the people know, what Portland is all about.
Well, it's in a transitional period. I think there was like kind of an older generation of artists that were doing their thing, like Lifesavers, Sand People, Old Dominion, Cool Nuts. I'm not sure if you're familiar with any of those people, but they all had national success to a certain degree and kind of like cult followings. And then there's been artists like myself and Luck One, T&E, and some of those other people that are kind of like in the middle that also helped break down some doors of blogs, stuff like that, people that are starting to get recognition. And then now there's even like a whole nother crop of artists that are coming up that are really talented, really making a lot of noise in the scene. And in the city right now is like at its strongest it's ever been for Portland hip hop. They're like selling out shows, and I've been gone for a year. I live in California now, but just being able to watch it grow since I've been gone, like artists are selling out shows, people's individual movements are growing, local shows are doing big numbers, artists are being able to headline their own stuff like that. So it's really cool to see. I guess some of the artists that I could name off the top of my head would be like Vinny Dwayne, Mike Capes, Mike Bogan, Stuart Villain. There's really like so many. I kind of lock up when it comes down to it. There's really a whole ton of artists that are doing it out in Portland. and it's hard to define the sound because there's so many different sounds coming out of there.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
is
the sound like a West Coast sound, or like what's the full on vibe? Because I mean, it's in Oregon. I know Oregon is very close to the West Coast, and I know a lot of that probably mixes together. I mean, how would you describe the sound?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think it has a West Coast influence, but it's not exactly California where it's like you're waking up to sun and palm trees every day. So it's like more, rainy and dank weed and beer and stuff like that. So it kind of affects the sound a little bit. It's maybe a little bit darker, but the production is always like a very heavy focus, I think, on Northwest people because for 6 or 7 months out of the year, they're like stuck in their house making beats or doing whatever because it's raining all the time. Mm-hmm. So like everyone has really good production, but it's hard to really nail down. It's like soulful, jazzy, but then there's also like the trap. It's really everything, man. Everything you could think of, there's like a pocket for it in Portland hip hop. There's trap, there's soul, there's live band type stuff. There's all sorts of different genres within the hip hop scene, which is really cool to see. There's some experimental artists that are really out there doing some different stuff too. That's cool.
Do you think that because there isn't I guess like a unified sound, that would hold back Portland? Because when you look at like these other cities that may have popped off, right? Like you have. You have LA and then you have like maybe, I don't know, Brooklyn or Miami and Houston and Chicago. And, for the most part, they kind of all center around a particular style. And then that style becomes mainstream and then the whole city kind of blows up. So do you think that because you guys don't have like one unified sound?
That's a good point. That really could be because when you think about Detroit, you know what type of
what you're
get. When you think about LA, what and Portland, I mean that very well could be a thing. I think it's more of like an economics of like there isn't really there isn't people out there investing in the artists to take whatever sound there is to the next level. There isn't that many labels, there isn't that many people that are gonna help you do anything with your music. It's really like people are rapping for a hierarchy of other rappers. It's like you're gonna meet me, you're gonna meet so and so, you're gonna meet Cool Nuts, you're gonna meet Lifesavers. It's like you're not really gonna meet like so and so the A&R, so and so the label. It's not developed like that, like an industry up there. So it's more like a small town of like you're rapping for rappers, fans, and writers, but people aren't really like investing the money. But I think you definitely have a point in saying that that the sound, the lack of one distinct sound, could be something that is holding the region back. I think you have a point.
I think that happens with a lot of these different cities, man. Because I think Austin is kind of going through that right now. Because they got a lot of dope artists out there in Austin, but they don't have really one unified sound that everybody just gets behind and push that, and then let everything else kind of flow behind it. Because and I mean, there's always the situation where maybe that sound does blow up, and then the sound gets old, and then nobody wants to hear it anymore, and then that city just kind of fades away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things too where Portland has been so highly influenced by other regions. Like there was a time in the early 2000s when Portland was really before I started putting out music in Portland, it was really influenced by the Bay, and it sounded like a mini Oakland, like the like Too Short, E40 kind of like slap beats, like that type of stuff, and it was really influenced by different sounds, and like to this day it kind of picks from so many different parts that it's like it's sounded like so many different cities, which is maybe in a turn has held it back a little bit.
So let's talk about the Bay a little bit. You recently moved there. How long ago did you move there?
Almost like a year, actually. Like a couple weeks ago was the almost the year anniversary.
So the Bay Area is popping right now.
Yeah, definitely.
I get a lot of Bay Area music coming through Trailmatic.com. Like, underground and majors, the producers. Like, seems like everybody is on fire right now, or they're just moving right now. Is that why you decided to move to the Bay?
Well, yeah, it was definitely like an opportunity to do things in a larger market, and just wanted to try things in a different city. I had lived in Portland my whole life and felt like I had kind of hit a ceiling, like had done a lot of things that I wanted to do and set out to do there and in the Northwest and in Seattle. So it was like a chance to kind of expand my fan base, expand my reach, and the whole goal was to be able to try and just become a bigger artist in a bigger region. But you're right, the Bay there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of really, really talented artists, and at the same time there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of stuff going on down here 24/7 all the time.
Is it like a stark contrast between Portland and the Bay?
Well, it's weird because like I feel like West Coast cities kind of have a similarity, like Seattle, Portland, San Francisco. They're all kind of like remind me of each other a little bit, but Oakland is very different in the sense of like there's a lot more culture, there's a lot more diversity. Like Portland's, if you don't know, is the whitest major city in the United States, and like, and it really shows when you go there. It's like there really is a lot of white people there, and it's like, and it's something maybe I didn't even notice until I went out to Atlanta, until I went to Oakland, until I went to these different places, and I was like, oh man, people are right. Well, there is a lot of white people in Portland, and just that there's more stuff. It's just different, you know. So that part is different, but also there's a lot of similarities to like. It's just a West Coast city. Like I feel like if you moved from New York to San Francisco, you'd be like, "Oh, this is so different."
Yeah.
But for me, I kind of already had a little bit of a vibe. I had been down here a lot too, you know, so I kind of already had an idea of it, and I don't know, you know, being music and like some stuff just translates like wherever you go, you know, some stuff translates. So it's been really dope. I'm like really thankful for this whole opportunity to be down here.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
So how did you come up with the name Tope?
It was like an abbreviation of a really bad rap name, like when I was really young, like in the lyrical miracle phase, and it just kept getting shorter and shorter down to Tope. So now it's that. But also my real name is Anthony Tony, so it was kind of like close to that name. So I just kind of rocked with it. I've honestly been thinking about releasing music under my real name recently. But
I think we all have. Okay, because I don't know if you know, we make music too, and Kendrick Lamar kind of changed the game with the real name. I mean, people were doing it before, but to get to that level, right, and have your real name was kind of unheard of before that. I mean,
it's a kind of a cool thing too, man. If you can do it, like the transparency of that is really cool. It's really cool, and like, I always get that question, and I have to say that, and I have to be like, yeah, it's a really bad name, and I'm not about to tell you what it is.
Well, I don't know. It's interesting because the boy Riffa actually found something interesting about this name.
There's an actual meaning to it, and it's to drink alcohol to excess habitually, you know, on a regular basis. But
it's also like a common name, like Nigerian name. My girlfriend is Nigerian, and she's like, when I go back there, there's a bunch of people named Tope, but it's spelled the same or whatever, so it's hella funny. Like it's like not the best name to Google. Like it's ridiculous.
That's interesting though, definitely.
Yeah. And it's unique, I guess.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely unique, definitely. And who are the people that inspired you to basically be a hip hop artist, and you know, just who do you see who yourself in, like a little bit, like who are you a mixture
of? Inspired to be?
Well, I guess first and foremost, just in like growing up in a really musical family. So like from the earliest I can remember was like obsessed with music, getting tapes, getting CDs, watching music videos. Like that's one of my first memories of just being like around music. And my whole family's like highly musical. Everyone plays like 2 or 3 instruments except for me and my sister. Like we're the only ones that aren't classically trained.
Yeah.
So I think there's always been kind of like a passion for that, but I didn't start till like real later, till I was like 16 or 17, even writing raps and then producing later. So, but man, I've always been a fan of West Coast music, like Tupac and Too Short were probably two of my biggest influences as a kid. And then later growing up, like Jay Dilla was definitely a huge influence on my sound in general, and then wanting to produce in general, and just that whole like the whole soul vibe, like D'Angelo, Q-Tip, Erykah Badu, all that stuff, man. Even like DJ Quick's one of my favorite, influences, producers. And recently, like Terrace Martin is definitely one of the people I'd love to work with eventually. That's like just embodies that musician and that sound that I'm really like hoping to conquer. Like that's really the sound I'm going for. But like as far as like rapper stuff I listen to, Dom Kennedy and like Drake will probably be two of my favorite rappers, to be honest with you.
All right. Yeah, how was it? How was it to collaborate? Produce for like Slum Village, Planet Asia. Some of the other artists you've worked with.
Yeah.
How was it to hear your music on their raps?
It's crazy, man. It's always a very different experience, artist to artist. With Planet Asia, like, was kind of a situation through when I was in the group T&E, and G-Force had a really good relationship with Planet Asia, and he was able to kind of like link those songs up and everything. And then later I was able to open up for Planet Asia and meet him, whatever, and that was cool. That was really like one of those moments where you're like, man, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm on a song with one of those people. Meeting Asia, I would say was definitely on his own planet. So that experience was a little bit different. Slum Village, that was something that was real recent, and was like, man, I was so happy when I got that email. Like that was happened right when I moved down here to Oakland, and like was kind of just going through a little bit of adversity with the move, and like just did I make the right decision, yada yada yada. Yeah. I get that email, so that was something that was really cool. And then again, they came down here like a month or two ago, and I met them, and that experience was great. Like T3 and RJ both like, man, send me some music. Like to hear them say they're a fan of me, that was a crazy. They're like, man, we're a fan. Like, we can send us some beats, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh yeah, no problem. Like, let's get it. So that was like crazy. Those experiences are always like, I don't know. You have to check yourself and be like, man, it reminds you of how far you've come. Like no matter all the struggles you go through, it's like something like that kind of brings you back to like, man, this is why you do it. Give these little moments.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely.
But honestly, and my relationship with Blue and working with Blue has been like probably one of the best things for my career. And like to this day, like we talk all the time. Like we're doing new music together and everything. Like it's gonna be really dope. And that's been a relationship that's been huge for me. As far as just like getting out there, getting to a bigger audience.
Would you say the experiences of those were the same as the magazine? Being in like The Source, the XXL, and Two Dope Boys, all that stuff.
Man, they all vary. Blue was the reason why all those things happened in my eyes. Like I had been sending my music to Two Dope Boys for 4 years. Like everything I sent to Shake. And then it wasn't until Blue tweeted my music or whatever it was, and then people started catching wind of it. So I really have to like thank that dude. I got into XXL. We got into XXL before I met Blue, and that was a very very cool thing. And we definitely saw a lot of like people hit us up directly from that on the first time we got into XXL, and then the second time when Blue helped me with the song and we got in, that was a huge thing too, because I had like done it on my own, so that felt really good. But they're always different experiences. Like even with this last release, like I put out this Better Place video and I haven't had any majors post it. So it's like, it just reminds you that it's like, none of that stuff is there permanent. It's like, you have to put out dope music every time, be as dope as put out the best music as you can, because none of that stuff is permanent. So it's like, I'm even like, you know, even right now, I'm like, okay, well, my next release, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna come with that heat, you know, because I've had to like go back to the drawing board a little bit, but it's all good. It's all motivation.
It's all humbling.
Exactly. Every time. It just reminds you you can't expect anything.
Oh yeah.
So man, I mean, you also, I guess, gained the attention of Erykah Badu. I don't know if you know, we're from Texas, okay?
Right.
So Erykah Badu is like our queen. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
In the hip hop world, like, it's just what it is. Like, you gotta respect Miss Badu. So for you to gain the attention of Miss Badu says a lot.
Bruh, believe me. Like, okay, I was down in Austin, actually, so I already know. Like, I was in Austin at the OK Player show for South by Southwest, like, literally, like, 2 months after she saw the video. And I was like, I was done with all my shows. My whole objective was like, I'm just going to go try and meet Erykah or whatever. But I was backstage, and she gets off stage, and it was like, she had her security, she had Austin police, and then she had, like, just a sea of people trying to talk to her. You know, she was, like, the queen in Texas that weekend, you know? Like, literally, I was right there. I was so close, but I was like, man, there's no way I'm going to get to say what's up to her. Like, I just was, like, stood on the side and was like, well, this isn't the time for me. Like, it was so I got to see it. I got to witness it firsthand, like, how much Texas really loves Erykah Badu. But man, same here. She's been like one of my influences since I was a little kid. Like, my mom used to play Erykah Badu like when I was like young. So that's just like something I grew up on. And like that whole video, that whole experience of her seeing it and hitting me up was like, I feel like it was really like an exercise in positive thought. Like the whole time I was making the video, even before I shot the video, like a crazy person, I was telling all my friends, Erykah Badu, I was like, I have this idea for this video, like, I guarantee you Erykah Badu is going to see it. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get it to her. She's going to see it. Like, I was telling everyone that. Like, I posted it on my Facebook. Like, I was like, I can't wait till Erykah Badu sees my music video before I even had it shot, bro. Like, no lie, I said this. And then like 4 hours after we posted it, people just started sending it to her, and you know how she's active on Twitter or whatever.
She's very active on Twitter.
Yeah, so she retweeted it, hit me. She sent us like 3 messages, followed me and like 10 other people, and you know, it was a really cool thing. It was like kind of was like mini going viral a little bit for like a couple of days just off her retweet. It was really a crazy thing.
Man, that's cool. Yeah, like Erykah Badu is, like I said, she's our queen. And then we also got Beyonce, who's also our queen.
Right.
So, I mean, like I said, if you can get the attention of Erykah Badu, and she's like, she gives you the thumbs up,
doing something good.
Yeah, like
you know what's crazy is when she was giving out her number during Thanksgiving, and I called her and I got through. Like I got through like instantly, actually, like hella quick. And we talked on the phone, and I was like, she was like, who's this? I was like, Tope, Like, I had sent you a video, and she said she remembered me. I still don't know if she really did. But she was like, oh, yeah, I remember. Blah, blah, blah. She's like, I remember that video. And I was like, we talked for like a couple of minutes. She was like, call me back and tell me what's your favorite song, whatever. But I never called her back. But like, it was hella funny. Like, I don't know if she really did remember me, but it was even more crazy when I talked to her on the phone, and just to like, just the whole experience was cool, very cool.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Now, I mean, we're gonna go back. You know, I know you were saying earlier that Portland had a majority white. It's a majority white city per se. I mean, talk about that, man. Just being, you know, I know white rappers they have to overcome a lot sometimes. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just the white rapper, but then you're being in Portland where there's a majority white people, you might not have to go through that, you know, that same, you know, have to overcome that stigma that a lot of white rappers have to go through.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting issue, and like, so for me personally, I'm like, I think I've felt both sides of it, to be honest with you, to be 100% honest, is like, I think I've benefited from being white and being in Portland and making music that's like I don't really curse. I don't really cuss that much. Da 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 da. Like, and I think that through certain doors in Portland, like people were really open to my music, and I was one of the first artists to win this whole like best new band thing that Willamette Week. Like I was the first solo hip hop artist to ever win. They had like 2 groups on it before or whatever, but I did it from the whole year. I went and played shows with like rock bands and like didn't even play hip hop shows. I signed to a rock label, all this stuff, and like that year I was like won the was like number 6 in the best new band, which was like unheard of at that time. And now it's like hip hop artists all the time in the town win that. Like after me, now it's like people place all the time on that, all the time. But whatever, that's a whole nother subject. But it's like, so in Portland, I feel like there were times I definitely did benefit from that. Other times, I feel like, and this is just me, sometimes I feel like my music gets judged a little bit harder, where it's like, with my image, the type of music I'm making or the sound or whatever, the being like, oh, I'm into soul music or whatever it is. Like some people be like, I don't buy it. Like I'm not getting it. I don't know. Yeah. You know, whatever it is. So it's I like, I think maybe I've like felt it from both. Like I would be lying if I say I haven't like seen the advantages of it. And then other times too, I'm like, I feel like my music gets graded harder, or sometimes I have to like work my way out of a like out of a hole sometimes, when I'm like the white kid, when people are like, man, I didn't think you were going to be dope. Like that always happens at my live shows or when I open up for a bigger artist, and people are constantly like, I wasn't expecting that, bro. Like I didn't think you were going to be good. Like, you know, whatever it is. So, you know, it happens a lot. So but,
I mean, do you run across the situation of you know, being compared to other white rappers, man? Where you just like, I mean, because I know I've done it. Like, a white rapper comes around, I just like start comparing with other white rappers. I know it's like the most asshole thing you could do. You know what I'm saying? But
I think so.
I mean, how do you feel about that whenever that happens?
You know what's funny? I think it comes more from like white people than anything. Like people who are just, that don't even listen to rap that much, and they're like, man, you sound like Eminem. I'm like, how do I sound like Eminem? Or lately, it's more, I think it's more like an image thing and living down in the Bay. Like if I wear a Letterman jacket and if I don't wear a hat, people will be like, G-Eazy, what's up? Oh, G-Eazy, what's up? Like I get so many G-Eazy comments. And like literally, I had never listened to G-Eazy's music until a few months ago. And people were like, man, you sound so much like G-Eazy. You look like G-Eazy. And I was like, okay, I gotta check out this dude. Like, I gotta see what people are talking about, because he's from Berkeley. He's from down here too. So,
what do you think of G-Eazy?
I think he's cool. I think he's cool. I like some of his songs. I like some of his production. Honestly, I'm like, some of his beats, I'm like, I swear I have the exact same sound. Like there's a couple of beats on his album, I'm like, I have that drum kit. I know I have that drum kit. Like, it's hella funny. He's really dope. If anything, he inspires me to like take my music serious, and he inspires me to it shows me that I could be popular if I really, really tried and really pushed myself to be dope at this music stuff. That if anything, he really he inspires me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't really listen to his music that much, but I draw inspiration from him, his story and stuff like that.
So, I mean, do you? I guess I know you listen to like a lot of different artists, whatever. But I mean, do you look at the white artists and I mean, do you look up to them, or is it like, do you kind of are they kind of like a second afterthought, like you don't really pay attention? Because like I know like a white rapper, and he was like he was like all over like the white rapper thing, you know what I mean? Like he just knew every white rapper that was coming out. Like he just knew everything, and then like the other
like
ones.
My favorite rappers are Mac Miller,
yeah,
Macklemore, no. What's funny, and going back to the other question, this relates to the other thing, is like even myself, I feel like I judge white rappers harder than I would other rappers. I'm like, I don't even really like white rappers that much. That's what's crazy about the whole thing. Like, I'm trying to think right now of a white rapper that I have on my computer or like that I listen to, and I'm seriously drawing blanks. Like I'm seriously drawing blanks. Like, does Alchemist count? Alchemist counts, right? Or not Alchemist. I'm sorry, Evidence. Evidence counts.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's right. Evidence. Too,
I like Evidence's raps. Like he's cool. There's not that many, bro. Like Logic doesn't even count. He's half.
Yeah, and they really count him like he's white too, and I'm like, you know, he's not white. I know he looks
really count
white.
Yeah, you know, I think I don't think I discriminate, but I don't think there's really not one that really does it for me that I can think of, like a white rapper that I'm like think is really dope. I think Mac Miller, like his musicianship is tight. Like he can play the piano really, really crazy, and I'm good friends with Macklemore, so I'm like, you know, I've seen him come up from like, you know, we did shows 15, 30 people in Eugene to seeing him be like a superstar across the world. So I'm like, always hats off to that. Always hats off to him and Ryan Lewis. So
yeah. So you say you're friends with Macklemore.
Yeah, Ryan Lewis and Macklemore. Like Ryan Lewis did my very first photo shoot in like 2007 when he was just a photographer. Like he made beats on the side.
Oh man.
And he was a photographer. Like he did everyone's photos in Portland and Seattle. And he did like my very first photo shoot, and then I've been knowing Macklemore since like 2006, I guess. Like MySpace days, like before he was popular actually back then because Tom from MySpace had put one of his songs, like a featured song on MySpace, and he blew up like then. And then he like kind of got into the whole, you know, started kicking it, blah, 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 fell off a little bit, then came back and, you know, really started to take over the whole game, his whole, you know, lane.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Like I saw him, like my last show in Seattle, I was opening for J. Rube the Damager and XP, who's a really popular Seattle rapper, and he's like best friends with Macklemore. He goes on like the European tours and stuff.
Oh, wow. And
I walk upstairs and Macklemore is just chilling like in the dark with like 3 of his press agents. Like just he's like, "What's up, bro? How are you? What's up, man?" I'm like, "What's up?" Like it was just so fun. We talked for like 20 minutes until people started coming up and trying to take pictures, and then he like literally like disappeared
Vanished.
out of there. Yeah, it was crazy, but we talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about pretty much everything. Hot 97, Kendrick. He told me the story about meeting Michael Jordan and showing him his shoes. Like he told me everything. It was crazy.
Man, I can just picture. I'm just picturing Macklemore right now in the dark, and like taking a little like smoke bomb and just.
Literally, like it was like I walked
away.
up,
yeah,
and like I'd have to explain it, but there's like, you know, it's like this little area, and it was all dark, and he just like stepped out of the shadow, and I was just like. What's up, bro? Like, because you know I've been knowing him for a minute, but I haven't seen him since everything popped off. Like, he literally was like, "Hey, it was all calm and everything." It was hella funny. I have a picture on my Instagram from that night, actually.
That's crazy,
awesome.
Man. I mean, another thing that I want to touch on a little more deeply was you being a producer. Okay, like, have you been a producer a long time?
And I started making beats in 2010. Yeah, 2010. So about 6 years.
So were you one of those artists that was like, I'm sick of paying for beats that cost too damn much. I'm about to start making my own beats.
Exactly.
That's what happened?
Exactly. My first album was produced by Sapient of the Sand People, and he's like pretty, you know, he has his own thing going on. He still tours and does his own things. Really dope artist. And then after that, we were like, man, but we kind of wanted a different sound though too. I kind of wanted to like make some like, you know, soul sample beats, and like I couldn't get anyone to like make the beats that I wanted. So I was like, man, I'm about to just start trying this. And my friend Devin made beats on Reason, and he kind of just showed me how to chop samples and like lay drums, and like from there. Went off basically. It was like just went crazy on it. Lately, it's only up until recently, to be honest with you, I've stopped sampling and I've like gone to composing and like really been trying to work on that aspect of it, of like music theory and doing stuff from the piano and all that. And I'm having a lot of fun with that, and it's changing my whole sound up completely, which is really dope.
Yeah, that's cool. Is it because of the Terrace Martin that you decided to take that route?
Man, basically, yeah, like just kind of wanted to challenge myself. To be funny, to be honest, it was Bryson Tiller's album. Like I was listening to trap soul like just so much.
It's a dope album.
Like dope album, you know what I'm saying? And his beats are really dope, but they're also simple at the same time. Like there's a simple formula, and I was like trying to figure out how to make those slower double time BPM beats, you know? Mm-hmm. And it just started to kind of click once I just did a few things, and then I've been like watching these music theory tutorials, and it's all been helping a lot, definitely.
So you're gonna go move into more of an R&B vibe.
I've been making a lot of R&B joints, definitely. I'm like trying to figure out how to like, you know, I'm still structuring it all. And lately I've been trying to sample and play over it, but like not do it cheesy, like do it the right way. So,
yeah.
So, but it's interesting. All my new beats sound they're more like R&B trap. It's so funny. It's like, it's way different than my old sound at all. And I haven't shopped these beats or really played them for anyone because I don't know what to do with them. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like trying to figure out what to do still. So it's interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, as far as like production goes, I mean, who do you see as like, I guess who is your main inspiration when it comes to production?
I mean, it's all over the place, really. There's so many, like, I love producers, really. Like, I could really go on and on and on. But I guess, like, at the root of it would be, like J Dilla, Madlib, like, those type of people. Dilla being able to, like, do the sample-based stuff and also do the composition stuff was really dope. Like, recently, like I said, Terrace Martin. I'm always going to be a fan of DJ Quick. K Tronada, like, I've been bumping his new album.
Yeah, his new album just dropped. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet, man. But I really need to hear that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Right,
Let's see. Who else was I just about to say? Jake One up in Seattle. Man, I'd love to work with that dude. He's got some amazing beats. There's really so many dope producers out there. It's crazy. Like, I honestly, I do like some of Mustard's, like, slowed down different stuff. Yeah. Like, Mustard can really actually come with some dope beats every once in a while. I'm like, this beat is ill to me.
Well, the first time I had heard of him, that I knew of him, and I was like, yo, I'm interested in this stuff, was on, I think it was on Dom Kennedy's, I don't know, he brought like the 90s sample in there with the horns, yeah. And I forget what the song was called, man.
When I Come Around.
That's like one of my favorite Dom Kennedy songs. So you knew that. You knew that, bro. I was like, that's the jam. And I was like,
yeah, that's hard.
Yeah,
I like that song.
That song is that was kind of the first time that I was like, I know Mustard had been doing this, you know, this thing or whatever, but that was when I was like, let me pay attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Ty Dolla $ign too, man. Ty Dolla $ign is really like really. He's not slept on. Like he's popular, but
he doesn't get enough credit though.
He really doesn't. He's a great writer and a great producer. Like he's really dope. Knowledge, that dude who did some beats on he's been around for a minute. Yeah, Stone's Throw. He did some beats on the new Kendrick. Like he's a beast.
Yeah, he was actually the last time I just seen him. He was on the Action Bronson. He was on the.
I know. Yeah, I was watching that with my friends, and I was like, I was tripping.
Yeah,
I was tripping out. I was like, yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, Knowledge is dope. I like what he's been doing with what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name right now. And I really like this guy too. The guy that just signed with Dr. Dre.
Oh, Anderson .Paak.
Anderson .Paak, yeah. They've been making some really, really dope music over there. I really like what they've been doing.
Yeah, Anderson .Paak and like BJ the Chicago Kid are two people I would really, really love to get on.
Man, we're gonna try to make that happen, bro. We need to get you working with that, man.
Oh yeah. Those are.
Yeah. So another question I want to talk to you about, man, is you got a lot going on with this tour. You're touring pretty heavy right now, right?
Yeah, man. Yes, we are. This is gonna be my biggest tour that I've headlined, that I've gone on in general, which is kind of a crazy thing to me. I was talking to my friend the other day. It's like most of the time when artists go out on a big tour, they open for someone, or kind of like don't necessarily go out and headline their tour like that. I'm like, this is gonna be my biggest tour, and I'm headlining. I'm about to go to some states and some cities I haven't even been to before. So it's gonna be cool, though. I'm excited.
So I mean, have you been seeing the impact of it?
Yeah, definitely. We've been putting in a lot of work and just seeing people from different cities and states hit us up already. It's been a lot of like artists so far that have, the people that are going to be on the shows and everything. So I think most of the impact will come after the shows and everything. Yeah. But because it is a challenge, like, to tour as an artist like myself, because it's not like I have a hit and I can be like, oh, this is, what I'm saying, I have whatever on the radio. So it's like, they gotta check out.
You go every time that you perform. You have to prove yourself.
Yep. And it's like people got to be into it. People got to come out. So there's a lot of factors, and it's not an easy thing to do to tour as an artist like myself. But like the payoff is really dope when it works out. And I think this is my first tour I've had help. Like, I have a booking manager and a driver and all this stuff. It's like, this is going to be dope. We have a van. We have hotels set up in every city. Like, this is the first time we're actually it's going to be nice.
Is this something you put together yourself?
Me and this radio station down here in San Francisco, the Madhouse, I did a show down here, and they basically, like, contacted me after that. And we're like, yo, we want you to headline our summer tour. And I ended up helping book some of it and doing some of the press. So
that's dope, man.
So it's been me and this radio station have kind of collabed on it, but they put in a lot of work. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do it without them, for sure.
So I mean, like, you look like you're pretty booked up, man. So I mean, how far is this tour gonna go?
We start in San Jose, which is about an hour out of Oakland. We shoot down to, we go through LA, shoot down to San Diego, then like Arizona, New Mexico, out to Las Vegas, go up to Idaho. I'm messing up the routing completely. We hit New Mexico, Idaho. We come back to Oregon. We go up to Washington, play in Seattle, Bellingham, back through Portland. We hit Reno on the way back, and then Sacramento and San Francisco and Oakland. We all together we have like 23 dates in 23 shows in 28 days. Ooh. So it's a pretty hectic schedule, but it should be good.
I mean, do you well, let me ask you this, because these days everybody's got like their cell phones, and like whenever you're like performing, you're not just performing for like 100 people in the room or 1,000 people in the room. Now you're performing for like millions because of YouTube and video online and all that. Does any of that make you nervous?
Nah, I never really have gotten nervous about it. Like, honestly, my live show, like, I really have so much fun in my live show, and like I feel like until people see me live, they really haven't like gotten the element of like me as a performer and a musician, because like I've really been doing my live show for so long, and it's like it's a dope experience. Like, it's really a fun experience. I've never really like gotten nervous or thought about it. Like, I think the Periscope thing and all that and broadcasting, I think it's dope. Like, I've never really worried about it, to be honest with you.
Man, yeah, I know. I mean, are you stage diving?
I have stage dive. Yeah, I have. But not recently. The show's been a little bit smaller since I moved, but definitely stage dive before back in Portland.
So, I mean, as far as like your live show, I mean, what type of elements do you like to bring out, I guess?
This tour, I'm gonna do some live beat stuff. I'm gonna bring a keyboard, and I'm gonna do some live beats, kind of like what I've been practicing with the music theory stuff. And I'm gonna play some live synths and some live keys, and then it's a lot of my songs. It's a lot of crowd interaction, some freestyle element, comedy. It's funny, man. It's just like, it's whatever happens, I'm very live on the mic, so it's really like whatever the vibe is of the night. I'm very like, you can't get caught slipping in one of my shows, because I'm definitely gonna call you out on the mic if you do. It's a fun time, like, no matter what.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
As far as like you on tour, I mean, what's some of the places that you're like I guess like excited to go check out?
Man, I've never been to Vegas.
You never been to Vegas, bro?
I've never been to Vegas. I've never been.
I'm not gonna lie. I just been to Vegas for the first time last year. So.
You're not alone. I ain't been there yet. So.
I just been in the airport, like in and out, like nothing serious. So we have a show in Vegas and we have a day off, and I already like kind of, I've been like, I have some folks out there, and so I've been telling everyone I'm gonna be out there. So everyone's like, "Oh, we're about to get it in." So Vegas, I'm excited for Vegas. Honestly, I'm excited to go to San Diego as well. I haven't been to San Diego, and I've heard lots of good things.
Yeah.
And then Seattle's always a really fun city for me. And of course, going home to Portland, I got a day off, so I'm gonna see my family. I'm gonna try not to get in any trouble while I'm there for one day, and just have a good show, have a really good show in Portland. And like my sleeper city, like the city that you wouldn't expect is gonna be really dope, that I guarantee is Salem, Oregon. Like all my last 3 or 4 times I've been to Salem, Oregon, we've had like some of the best shows there.
Yeah, man, Oregon is kind of like, the whole state you don't really hear too much about. I mean,
untapped.
Yeah, you got Portland. Yeah. I've just started hearing about Salem a little bit more because I've been peeping Oregon scene a little bit more now because of you. And but like what is going on in Oregon for the most part? Like, if I'm driving through Oregon or I'm stopping by Oregon, like what am I gonna run into out there?
So right now, in Portland, after I moved, they just leave the like weed is legally like 100% legal. So if you're into that, you can walk into a store. You don't need a card or anything. You just walk into a store. You go hit the weed shop. People are just like candy out there now. I guess it's just ridiculous. And then if you're into like the food scene is crazy. Like there's so many like food carts and really dope restaurants, and they also have like a really internationally known like craft beer scene, like all these different types of specialized beers and shit. Like people go crazy for that. And then a cool music scene, like really diverse music. Like you're gonna hear like rock, you're gonna hear hip hop, you're gonna hear jazz, you're gonna hear like all types of stuff throughout the city, like venues and stuff like that. And like just a fun bar scene. Like you can go to Portland for the weekend and like do a bunch of stuff for cheap, get it in, have fun, go to like 5 strip clubs in 10 blocks. Like it's crazy. There's a lot. It's like hella strip clubs in downtown Portland. It's crazy.
So I mean, do they got any like? Is there any like hood parts?
I just told you all the horrible things you got. I didn't tell you like one positive thing you could do. I just told you all the bad stuff you could get into. Is there a hood in Portland?
Well, I mean, is there? I know there's everybody has your bad parts and your good parts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I think sometimes people will try to like, because what happened was I was looking at something on YouTube a while back, and I seen somebody say something about Portland, talking about Portland. And or talking about, I think it was Portland. It was like a hood out there, and then somebody said something about some area. I forget what the area was, and they was like, "No, I think the Ville is what they were saying."
Yeah, the Ville.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The Ville is like North Portland, and there's a lot of artists out right now that rep the Ville that are like some of the dopest in the city. Mike Capes, Vinny Dwayne, Glenn Waco, and more. The Ville is like North Portland, like real north, which would be, I guess, like like project housing. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely like a tough neighborhood in Portland, and that's almost like kind of like an untapped neighborhood a little bit. There's like a lot of gentrification going on in North Portland, where a lot of stuff is changing in St. John's and neighborhoods out there where like that used to be the hood. Like when I was a kid, like North Portland was a really dangerous, you know, it was like a dangerous place to go, kind of, or like it just people didn't go there as much. And now it's like the trendy area. There's like lots of bars, lots of restaurants, lots of people moving in over there, and a lot of people are getting forced out to like the east side of Portland, which is like, it has always kind of been lower economically and a little bit rougher. And like for me, I grew up in the southeast, I grew up in North Portland, and I grew up in northeast Portland. So I grew up in like the three bad I guess you would say like the three rougher neighborhoods of Portland, like all three of them, but they all have three different characteristics. So, but like when I was a kid, North Portland was like I guess more like where the black people lived, and like southeast was more like Mexicans, white people of lower economic. Like my neighborhood, Lentz neighborhood, was like kind of a rough neighborhood, and then it started to change where like white people started moving to North Portland, people started getting pushed out to Southeast Portland, and now the hood, like the more rougher areas are like Rockwood, like 181st in Portland, like Southeast a little bit deeper south into the city, and North Portland, Northeast is becoming like a really nice part of town. Like you know, it like a lot of major cities, it's like the landscape of the city is changing, and they're trying to push stuff
expanding
out on the skirts of the city, you know, and it's caused a lot of like tension in the city. As in many cities, same things happening here in Oakland, same things happening in San Francisco.
It's going on in Austin right now. It's happening in Brooklyn.
Yep, every city. Like I hear Austin there's a lot going on because there's the tech boom there too. So it's like
that's where
there's
a lot of
like
they're trying to be the next Silicon Valley.
Right. And so here I'm like, I deal with that. Like even living in Oakland, we deal with like a runoff of Silicon Valley. Like all the, you know, our rent is higher than New York right now. Like the Bay is bananas. Like the Bay Area is crazy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, me and Riffa are sitting here in this little ass town with 130,000 people, like an hour away from Austin, and there's no gentrification happening. They're building up a lot, but it's just not popping out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But
it's crazy, man. I have this conversation so much with people just because it's like it really is happening in every major city, like DC, New York, Atlanta. Like everywhere I go, everyone has the same problem. Yeah. You know, like everyone's going through the same issue.
I think it's just the evolution of people, man. You know, where I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. Like the past like 6 months, I started drinking green smoothies, and I've been educating myself on like just healthy alternatives and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm getting gentrified too a little bit. You know what I mean? But
well, yeah, I like
before it was like 40s. And,
like, is that what that is, or is that just educating yourself to like health food? I mean, like,
I'm
is that?
Educating myself.
But it's because the smoothies came in your neighborhood and then you're drinking them.
Yeah, what's really crazy is the smoothies didn't come. They haven't came here, but what's been going on is because of the internet, right?
Right.
So you're being exposed to so much more than you would before all that. You know what I mean? So I've been like, you know, I hear one person talking about it, and I hear a second another person, and I start YouTubing, and then I'm looking at recipes, and now I'm like, you better get killed in your life, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what it is.
I think people are becoming very aware of like alternative ways to eat of food and stuff. Like I was having this conversation the other day too. Like when we were kids, we just didn't know. We ate Burger King and McDonald's and like didn't know about how bad it was for us. And now like parents are like wouldn't dare feed their kids that stuff. You know, it's crazy. It's like the evolution of food.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Man, that's crazy, man. So as far as I mean, right now, man, if somebody was listening to this podcast and they were like, I don't know anything about Portland music, who should they listen to? 3 artists right now to just, I guess, You know, besides yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty sure they're gonna listen to you after.
I'm not one of those people. I wouldn't do that.
Like you like Tope and Tope.
Tope and Tope.
Nylon.
Yeah. So I would say one of my favorite projects that come out of the town in the last year would probably be Vinny Dwayne's St. John Scholar. Really dope lyricist. Spent some time in Chicago and in North Portland, and just like has a really unique way with words and storytelling, and is beyond his years and like wisdom and some of the stories he's told and like songs he's wrote, and like really phenomenal beat choices as well. Another artist coming out of Portland that just moved there from LA, and she's like has a very unique sound and is most likely going to be doing some really big things here in the next year or so. Her name's The Last Artful Dodger.
Yes, I've been peeping her out. She's pretty dope.
Yeah. I can't even like, I guess I could compare like a female Chance the Rapper or something, but I can't even like, doesn't even do her justice. She's really, really talented artist out of Portland. And man, I would have to say probably my boy Stuart Villain too, just as far as like a really talented unique producer and rapper as well. People don't know he's really, really dope on the raps. He's probably going to release some songs soon, but like, man, he's produced for me, for Satire, for people like Danny Brown, Nipsey Hussle. Like, he's really, really a talented dude as far as like the beats go and just being a unique producer.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't really have any more questions for you, man. I mean, where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you and, you know?
All social media is It's Tope, like ITSTOPE, and then website it's tope.com, Facebook Tope, you know, Tope.
There goes the 3 Topes.
Or if you make a song called Tope, I'm gonna need a check. Cause
you're gonna need a check or something. Yeah, or a verse or something like that.
Yeah,
something
you
like that. I got you.
I mean, you got any new music coming anytime soon?
Yeah, I'm trying to drop at least one more video before I go on tour. I have a bunch of records that I'm like stacking up for this new project 3 a.m. in Oakland this summer. So that'll be the follow-up to Broke Boy Syndrome. I just dropped the latest video, Better Place, on my YouTube, on Trailmatic, everywhere you can find it. I got a bunch of, I'm producing a album for this artist, Sway Playmaker, in Miami. I got a bunch of stuff coming up, but
that was one thing I wanted to ask you too, and I didn't get to ask you, but I'm asking you now. Broke Boy Syndrome.
Yeah.
What does that mean per se?
So there's so many different really like meanings to it, but like I guess it comes down to growing up like without things, like growing up without money, growing up without whatever opportunities, and then like getting those things finally, and then like messing them all up because you came from nothing. Like, say I were to get on tomorrow because I came from like nothing, having no money. I'm like, when I get $1 million, I'm about to lose it just like that because I went and just spent all the money. And like, I guess it's about like you have a sickness of like you're about to spend money or like do some dumb stuff to mess it up. Like there's really different, I don't know, there's like a whole different themes of that album, but it's kind of like autobiographical about me basically like growing up without like positive influence, without parents that really like were putting me on the right track, making something of myself, and then trying not to mess it all up once I like get there. And it like deals with like money and just a whole bunch of like, you know, the things that can hold you back in life, like opportunity and a whole bunch of stuff. But it's really like the theme is like, you know, you can do whatever you want as long as you stay focused on your goal. Like it doesn't matter where you come from, like you can break the cycle. Like there's many different themes to it, really.
That's cool, man. Well, y'all heard it here first, man.
Yeah,
I know where to get in touch with Tope. It's at It's Tope everywhere on the internet. It's tope.com. We're definitely gonna link up some of the music that's been on Trailmatic.com from Tope in the show notes here, man. And Reef, you got anything else for Mr. Tope?
It was definitely a great conversation right now, and
Yeah, man.
it's another first for you also, you know, because
Yeah, no doubt.
it's a first for us, and now you're the first on here, so.
Yeah, thanks for reaching out. We're trying to we're trying to do another tour actually in September, October. We're gonna go out to A3C, like down to San Diego and through Texas and everything. So maybe we can link something up and do something in person.
Yeah,
Definitely, that'd be
absolutely,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
All right,
Look forward
man.
to that.
We appreciate you doing the interview, man, and y'all check out Tope, man. Peace out.
All right, man. Peace. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for listening to the Truth Be Told podcast. Be sure to subscribe and log on to Trailmatic.com for the latest in underground music, film, fashion, and more.